contagious. This is 6 weeks of allergies. In solidarity with Macedonia and Orange, Massachusetts. Bus stop. A one-legged vet leans at the curb, similar to grimy, mutilated plastic caught in the gutter. No one cares to clean up. Mother and kids huddle shaped into incognito cardboard, beaten flat for trash under the nearby bridge, waiting, just out of sight, just in case. Cigarette fibers smashed, faceless all around her, tell her story. She clutches a stuffed bag to calm the hot panic rising in her veins, relentless as addiction. Amidst broken glass, the cheap life sediment waits for a ride anywhere but here, where each knows the way too well. Charlottesville says no to hate. Fired up from Friday's, cough drop is getting in my way. Charlottesville says no to hate. Fired up from Friday's court victory, alt-right cracker Kessler joined hundreds more tiki tortures at night to Jefferson's statue, the slave owner president who legitimized them in their eyes. Last-minute counter-protesters rallied round the statue, became welcome targets for the Unite the Right ragers, armed with clubs and pepper spray. More locals were trapped at a nearby interfaith peace service, afraid to leave their sacrosanct rabbit hole for hours until the cops restored peace. Both groups were drawn to Thomas Jefferson, the apostle of democracy, the public servant and father of the Declaration of Independence, who proclaimed equality for all. The private man who believed blacks would never be as smart as whites, who used his enslaved to build his Monticello and his UVA, who used his enslaved Sally to bear his children. Like Jefferson, Charlottesville is a public liberal in the polls, but with deep ties to a racist past, pro-slavery in the Civil War, pro-Klan at the 20 statues dedication, pro-segregation in the 60s as an NAACP test site. My biracial skin sensitizes me to the white that spreads like southern soft cheese over the town and university, so you cannot see what you're eating, cannot sense what you're tasting. Whites gather with whites at the restaurants, the arts, the jobs. Blacks gather with blacks, Hispanics with Hispanics. Foods on the same plate don't touch, all polite and careful. The richer whites from Old South families are on a whole other buffet, much like the country. Saturday morning sunrise interfaith service at First Baptist spilled silently down the streets to Lee, now Emancipation Park, to the heavily gunned men and women infesting the tight space. Verbal threats and chants exploded into violence when a white supremacist hurled urine-scented brown liquid Airborne water bottles, screaming streams of pepper spray, the air thick with tear gas led to the governor's state of emergency, as if wild animals can back away from a fight. He was dead wrong. Many Unite the Right ran an angry gauntlet to comply with the governor, get away, grab a fallback position, to regroup, not to surrender, like a den of snakes recoiled. To McIntyre Park, where headliners Spencer, Enoch, and Duke relit the charge, touted Trump's support to take white America back. A disturbed hornet's nest of counter-protesters surged downtown arteries, one large group onto 4th Street, where James Alex Fields Jr., 20, from Maumee, Ohio, drove a Dodge Challenger into them, injuring 19 more. Barely a mournful breath when 2 more dead from a copter crash. State Troopers Cullen and Bates, who'd been monitoring the bloodshed. Against whites-only terrorism, an imperfect but unbroken Charlottesville rallied from all genders, all ages, all skin tones. Sunday morning, the message painted by students on UVA's Beta Bridge underscored unity at all costs. Hate has no place here. We choose love. As a 70-year-old, I chose to march in the Women's March against T-Rump in January. And so this poem came out of that experience, and it was put in the New York Times in January. Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. That's from Anais Nin. It's called One. One ear hears another voice. One hand touches a stranger's. One foot follows more. One common trauma bubbles into one boiling effort. The masses in one scalded demise by the silvered spoons, every one. One emboldens one soft-spoken, who encourages one considered broken to come. One elder listens to one young, who brings one outed into the wrong. One persuades her almond-eyed friend afar. That one wins over one slightly inky sister, who hooks one mixed-up stranger until one earthen vessel lifts us all as one.